Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and today is game day. The league kicks off in just a few hours from when this video is going to be going live. But before we get into that, I want to talk about league play once again. There's been a lot of discussion these last few days about it. The OpTic guys yesterday on the OpTic Chicago podcast were talking at quite some length as to why they think this league play system has fallen shy of the expectations that we had for it. Also some stuff to talk about Scump, given he got fined a few months ago for this TJHaLy Legends sponsorship. He is now back on that deal, maybe asking for the CDL to have a closer look at this situation once again. Intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I'd like if you guys enjoy the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. And thank you very much indeed to Draftbuff for sponsoring today's video. If you guys would like to join the Draft Royale, this is your last and final call before the season does begin. There's almost 2,500 people in this Draft Royale, the biggest on the entire website right now. So if you would like to extend our leads over the rest of the people doing it in Call of Duty and in other esports, feel free to do so. My team is Skies, Scump, ILLey, Formula Dashy, Dallas Empire is kind of the team pick. I think it's pretty nasty, but yeah, we'll have to see who ends up number one after this first week, and I believe it's going to be the same Draft Royale for the entire season, so if you guys would like to play along, the link, of course, will be down below. Let's hop into things then. Also, this Breaking Point GG yesterday, our first guest who appeared on the podcast, so this is episode number 4 of the Breaking Point podcast, talking about the league play stuff, the Challengers Elite stuff, the team cameras, the team merchandise. Thought it was a great episode, to be honest, so that will also be linked down below if you guys would like to check it out. Zed was very kind to join us for this one. So league play, they tried to introduce some fixes yesterday, some bug fixes. You know, creator class addressed an issue where league play creator class could incorrectly revert to default multiplayer classes instead of CDL classes after a match. But yeah, some of these issues seem to have been resolved, but the main issues, of course, with the system have not yet been resolved. As Marksman has said yesterday, I thought it was kind of interesting. A couple of you guys were pointing out to me, I just got ranked on my ult account using a knife only, losing every game, got put straight into Masters Division. Meanwhile, my main account dropped 60 kills a game, 3 out of 5 wins, and is put into Elite. How does this stuff even work right now? And yeah, this top one is the funniest. I don't even know how that is possible. Yeah, I really don't understand how this stuff is even ranked to the present time. Before we get into talk about league play in a little bit more depth, wanted to mention also the Challengers Elite, which kind of, it didn't conclude yesterday, but the first round of round-robin matches before the actual CDL starts finished yesterday. So it was the European region, the North American region. Now I think all the live streams are going to be on the CDL official Challengers YouTube channel. And yeah, Afro dropped like 45 kills to win this map number 1. It was pretty remarkable stuff. But these are the overall standings. Just before we get into that though, I wanted to mention this from Cam Allen. Thought this was kind of crazy actually that he points out here on Twitter. Connect 4 win this hard points even though there's a singularity player in the hill. You can see, I mean, obviously he's kind of messing with this right here. But they're at 249 now, this Connect 4 team. And well, the singularity player Denzer is in the hill, getting kills, contesting the hill. And for some reason they just give Connect 4 the points, even though he's the one in the hard points, and Connect 4 just win the map. So I think we've seen this on Black Ops 4 as well. This used to happen. Sometimes it would happen when people were like jumping around. But yeah, this is not a glitch that I've really seen before on this title. This is really the first time I've seen it. And well, it's going to be pretty frustrating because if this happens on LAN or, you know, even on one of the big events online this year, that it's 249, 249, someone's in the hill, but yet they still get the tick, that is certainly going to be ripe for drama, especially if it's against a team like the Seattle Surge or something. I'm sure Octane would have a few words about that on the timeline. These are the overall standings from the week 1. So Gunless get 4-0 over here in this region. Gangsters as well, I believe that's Hydra's team, and the Wester squad, of course, in the North American side, 4-0. They are crushing it once again. Team Z actually up here at 3-1, so fair play for Zed and the boys getting a solid standing done. And I believe after a couple of weeks, the bottom 2 will then be kind of eliminated. Then they play another couple of rounds. Then the bottom 2 again get eliminated. The Built by Gamers squad hasn't had quite the first couple of days that they would have liked to. And then there's a playoff right at the end, kind of alongside the fact that we have the Pro League going on at the same time. Before we get into exactly what the OpTic boys had to say on league play, thought this was entertaining as well. Scump says, and we are back. TJHaLy Legends sponsored stream in 30 minutes. We saw him talk about a couple of months ago in the off season. He had done a sponsored stream with TJHaLy Legends, and the CDL had fined him for doing so. Like, apparently fined him like all the money he made from that deal, and that's a lot of money for a guy the size of Scump that's, you know, doing these type of promotions on his live stream. And the CDL claims that, okay, because it was a different game and you're a Call of Duty player, you're in the Call of Duty League, therefore that you're not allowed to do so, even though it's the off season, no one's playing COD anyway. And yeah, he was kind of frustrated with the whole situation. I imagine he's got it figured out because now he's back doing it once again, or maybe he thinks that if they do fine me, at least they're not going to fine me as much as TJHaLy Legends are actually paying me for this integration. As Octane says, they are licking their lips at this one, so maybe Scum asking for some sort of fine. But yeah, I suppose he's figured something out behind the scenes that he can do so. But it's pretty interesting that during the off season, apparently it wasn't allowed back in you know, September time, I suppose, after the league concluded. But now we're like a day before the league, and well, here we go. We're back in action, baby. Maybe Scum has to do it right before the league begins, so he doesn't get fired again or something like that. Maybe there's something along those lines. Speaking of OpTic, I suppose they beat Los Angeles Thieves, of course, in that opening weekend matchup 3-0. Yesterday was their first day of their 0 to 100 video series, but they also did this one. Thought this was impressive from LA Thieves, to be honest, or really 100 Thieves in general. They turned a massive L, losing 3-0 to OpTic, into, well, a big W by turning the entire video into an advert for Dollar Shave Club. So it was pretty impressive stuff, and there was a few funny moments in this, actually, especially as TacticalRab Academy pointed out. They were kind of looking around for the, you know, the Dollar Shave Club gear and stuff like this. Me looking for a proper ranked play system, all the boys going through all the cupboards, trying to find what actually works. But yeah, at the current time, it doesn't seem to be in the perfect state. TJ's throwing up everything to try and find a proper ranked play system, but at the current time, it is not clearly in the best state. And there's some questions from the OpTic guys, exactly why is that the case? Rambo Ray says, here are some things I'd like to see: pre-made classes fix, score streaks reset upon death fix, matchmaking solos with solos, parties with parties. These are certainly things that would make a lot of sense. As Scrap says, look, league play is absolute doo-doo. I'll be the one to say it. I searched for 3 games and got garrison control every single time. Supposedly a lot of people have been having this issue where like half the games they play, if not more, are all garrison control. Yeah, pretty incredible stuff. I don't really know how that's even possible, but it seems like it's somehow skewed in the matchmaking algorithm. And the OpTic guys here are talking on the podcast exactly why this is the case. Very frustrated with what they perceive to be a lack of passion for the scene, at least, well, for the competitive side of it, from the guys that run things over at Activision, and not necessarily at Treyarch necessarily. I mean, Form was kind of implying that, look, they probably had deadlines to meet right here, and they were in a difficult spot to try and rush this out. But it seems to me, especially the fact that there's no incentive, Hitch makes some great points to the fact that, look, there's no actual incentive if you're a casual player that's not already involved in competitive to play League play at all. You're not getting any special skins, any special camos, anything really of the sort, and as a result, no one's going to play it, and therefore it's just in the game for, well, to look good, I suppose, and even then, it doesn't necessarily look good. And some frustrations from the guys at the, well, the lack of passion that they see, and the fact that the developers and Activision don't really care about the scene, even though we are now in a $25 million per team franchised arena.
Like, there's no way that they didn't know that wasn't what people wanted. There's no way they didn't know that people weren't going to like that.
There's not going to be.
It's not going to bring any outsiders.
There's no incentive for them to play that.
Zero reason to play. There's no cool. There's
like
no cool
gear
or
rewards
features or no rank. You don't.
Double X, if they just put double XP in that play that's only for a weekend, maybe you'd see some growth in that sense. But it's like, other than that, once that's done, it's just like,
it's like it came out and it's like, here's a 4v4 playlist that you can play in between GB matches or scrims.
Yeah.
And
like, look at like Valorant, for example. Like, that's like a relatively new game, right?
Yeah.
And like they have that like Radiant Immortal thing or whatever. Yeah. Like, people are grinding for
already.
That, right?
Even Battalion 1944, an independent studio that created a copy of Call of Duty 2 with the same movement as Call of Duty 4, and you see the Face It, Rank It with the ELO systems that make sense.
Yeah.
And that's an independent studio that doesn't have a percent of the network or the infrastructure that Activision has.
Right.
And when we see them do that, it makes me wonder where is it? Where's the passion for competitive?
There's just
none.
Yeah, there isn't any.
Like, a ranked system makes games. Like, isn't that why League of Legends is so
Halo
popular?
2, Halo 3.
Halo 2, is that all of the league and the league officials and the back office of the league are all about everything that we're saying. They're all in support of everything that we're saying. And they won't ever throw anybody in. Yeah, they won't ever. Yeah, but they're never going to throw anybody under the bus. And they're never going to say
they are to you.
No, you can tell when somebody is about this life.
Yeah,
and they are.
It just sucks because that's the reason we'll never get transparency. It's because there's so many people under so many different umbrellas that anytime you're like, why can't we do that? They're not gonna say the dude above me won't let me.
No,
they're not going to. So we'll never get transparency from Activision when it comes.
It's the lawyers, man. They have to have like 3 floors of lawyers.
So beginning tonight at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, 8 p.m. here over in the UK, the first matches of the season officially begin. These count for standings. Just to explain, if you guys aren't aware exactly what is going on with the format, the opening weekend, February 11th through the 14th, is a home series, but all it is effectively is league matches or group matches for seeding for the major event, which is coming up at the end of this month. So all of these matches count within their group. Every match you see here played is, well, the teams that are playing it are in the same group together, and then based on the standings in that group, the top 3 go into winners bracket at the end of the month. The bottom 3 start in the losers bracket, in a bracket which looks very similar to the World Championship one that we had last time around. So Los Angeles Thieves Rokkr begins today, Empire versus Surge. I think I'm going to take Rokkr as a 3-2 favourites over the Thieves. I think Empire should, smoke Surge probably 3-0. I doubt they'll put up too much resistance in this one, but on the Pick'em website, actually, Pick'ems.com, CallOfDutyLeague.com. You can actually pick everything, get points for the matchup, so I thought I'd leave that link down below as well if you guys would like to check it out. These are my picks for the entire week. Let me just make sure this is fully on screen. These may change over time, given that, well, if Los Angeles Thieves look incredibly good up against the Minnesota Rokkr or something, then I might change out exactly how, well, the rest of the week ends up looking. But for now, I'm taking Rokkr in a 3-2. Think they're going to be slightly stronger and slightly more disciplined, especially in the Search and Destroys. Dallas 3-0, pretty self-explanatory. OpTic to beat Paris Legion 3-1. FaZe to beat Los Angeles Guerrillas 3-0. Legion, I think, will get the better of Los Angeles Guerrillas. Mutineers will probably get the better of Ultra, even though this series could be a tight one. Then I'm really unsure about Thieves versus Subliners, because the last few days, supposedly, Subliners have been looking much, much better in scrims, but at the same time, I've got to feel like LA Thieves get a win at some point here, and yeah, I'm going to take them in a 3-2, but it's going to be a close call, I think, that one. Then we've got Royal Ravens versus Surge, going to give it to a 3-1 to the Royal Ravens. Empire versus Rokkr, I think this could be a tight series, to be honest. I think Empire are going to face some resistance here in some of the respawns, but a 3-1 to Dallas Empire, I think, is understandable. And then the final series of the weekend, that being on Sunday, 3 p.m. at Pacific Standard Time, Atlanta FaZe versus OpTic Chicago. This is, to me, probably the hardest matchup to call of the entire weekend. I'm just about going to give it to OpTic. I feel like in the clutch moments early season, they tend to be in a perfect position to clutch up in these types of series. But I think I would be surprised if it doesn't go to a Game 5, to be honest, all things considered. I think these teams could be very, very well matched indeed right now, and that is going to probably decide the best team out of Group B, when, well, Dallas Empire, we imagine, are going to be the top dog in Group A. Intrigued to hear your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Just wanted to finish up with this clip from Waskin right here, absolutely frying some people in there. Well, I guess this is ranked play or something to the effect, and as he says, might be time to run challenges. We talked about the challenges elite earlier in this video, with a Waskin being absent given his stream. He's got like 5,000 subs on Twitch, has been doing so well. I mean, maybe this is 6,000, as you can see right here. But if he does want to get back in the league next year and still compete, he probably has to show that he can still do it to some degree, maybe on the challenger side. So, well, he probably has to think about getting involved in that side. Otherwise, next season, he's maybe not going to be top of the people's picks to get picked up to expansion teams. Intrigued to hear your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm to know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care. Thank you to Draftbuff, and I will see you next time.
I've been smoked. I've been nate streaks. I've given it up. I'm shooting you back. I've shrieked you back. My bad if I shoot yous. Something up. You know, just don't worry about it, man. Who's with smiling mouth? Careful.
Let's shriek it again. As well.
Play lives.
Anyone got bricks, yeah?
So helping bricks, whoever's here with me.
I need help, 2 at bricks, man, I'm just getting left.
Isn't it? Oh, there's still bricks.
Oh, beggar.
You're low on lives. You know what to do. Hostiles are taking Alpha.